What's up? No, just
I was like, you got to go already.
Oh.
hello, everyone.
You got
It is not Chatty Queen's Brunch Club today. This is Shay, and I'm just on some other stuff today. I had a whole lot to think about and see, just looking down my feed, not just my feed, but just talking to different people about my shows. And I promise you, I am trying to end this relationship conversation. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do that in the Black community. Just where we don't have to even talk about this thing, but I want to talk until it's effective.
Mm-hmm.
Where people are actually listening and understanding what it takes to have healthy relationships and grow and have some longevity. Y'all just and I last weekend or the weekend before last, because I was out last Sunday, but the weekend before last we were talking about Tia and Corey Hardrick. And after the show, first we were talking about whether or not it was cheating involved in relationship and why they were ending their marriage, right?
Yep.
And it was all these different opinions as to why they were ending their relationship. We got a guest on school, y'all, and it's a woman. So hold y'all comments if you don't want to be told if you a man. No, I'm just playing. I'm kidding. No, not that. I'm kidding. But anyway, people have all these different opinions as to why their marriage is ending.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I have, because I believe in strong marriages and I believe in them lasting a long time, but I do not believe in disrespect, and I do not believe in a woman not having any confidence within herself and not being able to be herself. And I feel like Tia is her full self in her relationship or in her marriage. I thought she was. And I just saw so much perfection in them until it actually brought me down. We actually get so involved into these relationships, especially when it's like celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
And so we start believing stuff that ain't true.
Yep.
And we can't see everything that's really going on behind the scenes, but at least they can fake it till they make it. At least.
Why? Why would you want them to fake it till they make it?
No, I'm saying they are.
Oh, okay.
Because I believe that everything was all good between them. And then when it's a surprise to everybody that they're failing like that. And then, like, I was following, I do not know the girl name on Robert and I'm just coming out the blue with this because otherwise I have it documented or written down the names. But Robert and you know that couple we talked about.
You're talking about the poly couple?
The poly couple, but he got a brother. His name is Robert.
Okay.
And he'd be singing and stuff. And his wife, like, turning into a model and stuff. Do you ever follow them?
Nope.
They are divorcing. And she's coming out with all of this stuff.
Everybody's divorcing.
Right? I'm on fire today. And it's just so, when I look up and down my feed, that's all I'm seeing. And so it was a video. And I said this, and this is my point of saying this. I'm gonna go back because I'm everywhere. Corey and Tia getting a divorce. It hit me sideways, right? Then I had all these different accusations or assumptions in my mind as to why they were divorcing.
Mm-hmm.
And I could have been wrong. The men here that Sunday said I could be wrong. You wrong. You don't know what's going on because people hide stuff, and that's true.
Mm-hmm.
But in my mind, I believe he cheated on her, and I believe he's in a serious relationship with another woman. And I believe he's been seeing some other one. This is what I see.
What?
And the reason why I see that is because I was married for 16 years and divorced after I had went through a lot.
Okay.
And I know some behaviors. I can just identify some of those things. And I could be wrong, but what I'm seeing is he's in a serious relationship with another woman and has been.
Okay, so I guess you would have to fill me in on what's going on with Tia and her husband.
So, and I only had one video that I sent to you. I probably had another one, but
yeah, you only sent me one.
Okay, so she just came out the blue, left, and so you know their relationship, right? You know
a little bit. I know they married.
She met him. You know, sister, the
Okay.
two twins. Okay. One of the twins, she met her husband. That's them right there.
Yeah, I know who they are.
On the bus stop.
Okay.
He was on the bus stop. She don't hide that story.
Okay.
She felt he was attractive and stopped, and whatever their interaction was, he ended up getting in a car, and she took him to wherever it is that they were going. They ended up having kids, getting married. Long story short, because that's what I know for sure. Those are facts that I know, right? But in front of the camera, you could see the way that they interacted over the years, and it just looks so perfect.
Okay.
And we spoke on Megan Good and her husband and how things look perfect to other people, but I saw that divorce coming, and I knew it was gonna come, and I see like that stuff. And so this one hit me sideways though, because I don't think I paid attention or thought that there could ever be any trouble. And so when she wanted a divorce, I'm like, it's him, because she's just so open and honest about her life and her marriage. And it's so much you can see that she desires from him that he just don't give it, right? And you can see that he's not interested. And I've been seeing that for a little while. When she put him and force him on camera, he just be looking like he don't care. And I feel so bad, because that's what brings me to today's conversation. For women, we have some beautiful Black women in the world, just pretty everywhere. And there's so many low self-esteem issues to where women are messing with each other's men and thinking it's funny, and it's really disgusting. A lot of women do it out of hate and jealousy and bitterness and their own insecurities. Stuff like being in a relationship too long when you know it's just never going to work. Right. But you're there because you have a low self-esteem. Not feeling like you're enough by yourself. Like you can't be alone. You have to be with a man. And a lot of those different things started changing my perspective about how I would ignore the way these things are really happening. It just started coming to me more and more when we started talking about these relationships. And I'm like, these women are so insecure. Even when I love the City Girls and I listen to Single, I listen to it over on rewind in my car. And some of the things that she say is just like high confidence things. Like it sound hood, but that girl got a lot of confidence. And she's beautiful and she got it, And that's pretty much what we need to start carrying within ourselves, and project as Black women as a whole. She says she ain't sharing out nothing. She ain't, she's good.
Yeah.
And she believes in herself. She has that confidence. And I feel like when I look at Tia and her husband and that video he did right there, please play that video. And I want y'all to tell me what y'all see.
Continue to support the show. All right, I appreciate y'all. Coach Marcus, sending nothing but love. It's love, y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all for real. Okay, I love my beautiful family. Love my kids. Love my wife. I love all you guys. Just know that. It's all love, okay? I love you guys.
What you see?
What did you see?
I didn't really see too much emotion.
Keep going.
Yeah, I didn't see much emotion. I don't feel like it was heartfelt. He was just doing it because he had to say it.
What else?
That's what I see.
What you see?
I wasn't paying attention.
Please play it again then.
I'm not going to play that again. Don't need to play it again. I do not need to see.
Can you tell me the name of the video?
I don't know the name of the video. Hold on.
I can't pull it up on my own.
Hold on. I said hold on. You asking for a lot today.
Yeah, I told you about it already. I'm a weekend.
That's your fault. It came from the shade room, so it just says Corey. It just says Corey sending.
That's all it said.
No, it says something at the bottom.
No, it didn't.
It says Corey has something to say about his beautiful wife, or he's sending messages.
Yeah, it just says Cindy.
You didn't
Some
get
love to his beautiful wife. That's
okay.
it.
It says Corey sending some love to his beautiful wife, and I feel like just just that little phrase right there that they put in there when they posted that video gives a projection like he still love her
Okay.
and he's trying to get her attention and get the marriage back together, when that's totally not the case. What, do you remember what I said about this last Sunday or the Sunday before when I brought this up?
No, because it's been 2 weeks.
Okay, I said, and y'all can go back to the tapings and see what I said, because this proves my point that I'm a psychic. No, I'm just playing. But this proves my point that it's true, right? I said he is going to try to make it look like he's still in love with his family because he is starting a show. Remember I said that? He's going to be in a new show. So he was on, and I started looking up their videos, and I wish I had this one. She said, she was saying something, and she was videoing and talking. And he said, because you get on my damn nerves.
Mm.
And she looked at him, and she said, you're going to get on my damn nerves.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell that something behind the scenes was happening in that. And if you watch their videos, he's so, like, nonchalant about everything.
So you don't think that's just his personality?
No.
Mm.
No, because if you look in their that's why I said it hit me sideways, because the beginning there, when he first started taping, he's been in movies and stuff.
Okay.
So he does have a personality.
Okay.
He just like been done with this. And my question is, number one, for men, why do you drag things along when you know it ain't there? Like, why can't you be up and honest, and what are you holding on to? What do you think?
Well, if you asking from a man perspective, I can't answer. But
What's your opinion though?
I think people drag stuff on for a long time because they're afraid of the outcome. They may be afraid of if a person hates them. They may be afraid on how they're viewed. They may be afraid of hurting if it's children involved.
I was going to ask that.
So it could be a lot of different reasons. I think we should look at it from a place of understanding and less like judgment. But it could be a lot of reasons why people drag stuff on. Do I agree with it? No. But I do understand like why a person would not just bring something to an end right away. And people also feel like maybe this feeling will go away. Like maybe I'll get that feeling when I first met this person back. But time is of the essence.
I ain't do nothing. I
asked the question to men
about how do I feel about their situation.
When men hold on, like, or not even tell the truth about their true feelings, or why would they hold on to you? You get one life.
Why will we hold on?
You get one life.
Because no matter what, at the end of the day, because we have to be the one that proposes to the woman, we want that relationship to still work at the end of the day, regardless of what has changed in regards to the relationship, what has gone from we used to do this all the time to we barely do this, or just in general, when life starts lifing, as you get older, you get more responsibilities and life just changes. We still want to hold on to that. We still remember the good days. Today's society, a lot of people will choose history over healing, where people will, I've been with this individual for so long. I've experienced all these traumatic events with this person, whether it was caused by them or they just happened to be who was there when I was going through it. Hold on, wait a minute. I had a kid in here earlier. Okay, I'm sorry. I had a kid in here earlier. And kid Mike. Okay, that's better. Because I was like, I'm loud. I'm really loud. Okay.
You're fine.
I know I am.
Help him, Lord.
But sometimes we stay for that. But the thing about it is one big thing, and I think you said it earlier before we started the episode, but I also have been having conversations with other people. A lot of people don't know how to be alone. A lot of people don't know how to be alone. They have focused so much on either being the wife that a person wants or the man that's needed. We talk so much about marriage and couples and being together in the whole 9 yards that people build their whole lives to be what their grandmother and grandfather was. But nobody understood that grandma and granddad never planned on ever being alone. We live in a modern society where you're supposed to stand on your own now before you even get into anything.
That's a good point.
So a lot of people don't know how to be alone. So they'll hold on to something that may not be considered healthy because they don't know how to do anything on their own. Now, Tia has always been in a partnership in some shape or form. Because if she wasn't with her family, she was definitely always paired up with her sister. So now when you go from now your sister's over here living her own life, now you have to live your own life too. And if you ever look at the two, Tia kind of always gave me the vibe that she's a very introverted person. Between the two, she felt more like the introvert. They both may be, to be honest with you. You know, we don't know what they're like when the camera's off because they wasn't really growing up during the era of social media like now.
Right.
They were kids when being kids was safe.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Being kids were safe. So we don't know. But if I had to choose between the two, Tia always gave me the introverted one where I'm to myself. Even when she's on The View. When she was on The View. Was it The View? I think it was The View.
Cornisha about to join.
Whatever the show she was on.
Hey, Cornisha.
Okay. She felt like she gave her opinions, but she keeps her life private. So you wouldn't know what's going on until it's situations like this. Oh, we're getting a divorce now.
Right.
You know?
And you don't know what's been
going on. That's why when you was like, I think he cheated, he did. First of all, as a man, we kind of get sick and tired of being vilified in every situation off top. Because whenever a situation ends or something goes to the left or something's wrong or someone's not happy, it's always what the man did or didn't do.
No, it's not.
It is not the case, but we're always the first thought. If you posted right now, I'm not happy today. By the 5th post, someone's going to say, what did that man do?
Join.
Okay. By the 5th post, somebody's going to say, what did that man do or not do? Not the fact that you're just not happy today because you seen a baby bird get hit. You know, it could be anything that doesn't, but the first thing they think is there's something that a man did or didn't do.
Is that the truth 90% of the time? Can you be honest?
No, it's not. 90% of the time, it's not the truth.
What's the percentage then?
I wouldn't put a percentage on it, but it's definitely not as high as you think it is.
You know it's the truth.
I hope I have to be pro man. I am a
man.
man.
Oh my Lord.
I will give love. I
gotta get y'all to tell the truth.
But we are telling the truth. And that's part of the reason why we don't tell y'all nothing, because when we do tell y'all, if it's not the answer you like, y'all immediately assume we're not telling the truth.
Yeah, we went with communication. So I think that was the biggest thing we came up with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Communication is key. When I say what I say, take it as what it is and don't question it because it's not the answer you expected.
Okay.
That's all we said.
I
okay.
Got you.
Mm-hmm. So in this case, it may be that Corey went somewhere else because he was unhappy. It may be that Tia went somewhere else one time and because she was unhappy and Corey couldn't get past it. They're cool at co-parenting. Okay. TS came out and said they're amazing at co-parenting. So them staying together had nothing to do with the kids because they're adults enough to still be able to raise their kids in 2 separate households without any problem.
Cornisha said 65 to 70% of the time it's the man.
See, I didn't say it wasn't the high number. I just said it wasn't the 90 that you accused.
Well, you know, what we go through. We went back to the single black woman and why we got more baby mamas and single black women.
Oh, that was
kids.
That was a whole conversation.
Yeah. So I don't want to go there, but I'm just saying, like, I think it's all it runs concurrent.
There is
it's all the same thing.
There is a revolving cause and effect. I'll put it like that.
Yeah.
There are things that men do that may cause women to do things that women then turn around that do to men, and it's a never ending cycle. Let's admit that right away. Because me and you
I
can
agree
go
with
back
you.
and forth
Yes,
about
we
what
can.
men do to women and women do to men.
Yep.
At the end of the day, there is a cause and effect that nobody is stopping the cycle. It's one of the biggest generational curses in the black community that we need to break, next to spending our money before we get it. Okay? Stop pointing fingers. Let's just say this is what
I
it
got
is, and
you.
let's be open.
I'm with
Okay.
you.
And I think that's the situation with them too. I think they felt this way a while ago. Okay.
I definitely believe it's been.
I
going on
feel
a
they
long
felt
time.
this way a while ago because every relationship, whether you're just dating or you're married, gets to this point where things valleys, hills and valleys. Every relationship has hills and valleys.
Yes.
And when some people go into valleys, some people don't know how to handle being in valleys. I think that they've been in valleys for a minute now, and because of that, they're now coming to the realization that unless we fix these internal issues, whichever they might be,
Yeah.
we'll never get back to a heel. And since they'll never heal to get to a heel, double entendre, they decide to say, in order for us to get what we need, we may have to be apart to do it. Because they're going to be great parents regardless.
Yeah.
Financially, the kids will always be okay. Career-wise, they'll always be okay.
Yeah.
That's never going to be an issue. But I think this is one of those divorces that is not a toxic divorce. I just think it's one of those divorces where two people realize we're not going to be happy if we stay together.
Okay.
I also think that people need to understand that what one person's happiness looks like is not everyone else's. So it may be some things that Tia, that's the one we talk
Tia.
about,
Yeah,
right?
it's Tia.
Yep, Tia.
Because Tamira out there acting a fool in her real life. So that's a whole nother story.
Tamara, she's a more subtle one.
That's what I mean, acting a fool, meaning she's living her best life.
Yeah, she is.
She's living her best
She's
life.
doing great.
It may be some things that Tia wants from herself that other people don't agree with, and she probably can't be her happiest. And it may be the same for Corey. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that I do know about that I do keep up with is Carisha and Diddy.
Oh, I love it.
So I've talked to a couple of people and they just
Do y'all-
cannot stand.
Do y'all think that's an actual relationship?
No, but I think, well, yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a ship that's selling. Yes.
It is, and they don't want it to. They both. I feel like, in my personal opinion, I feel like they enjoy so much of each other that it has turned into like more of an addiction. Like, I have to be around you.
Do you
I
feel like
have
that
to-
can be toxic?
Yeah.
Because with neither one of them
Yes.
wanting the titles that should go along with it,
Yes.
but they
Why
want
should it
It's
go along with
dangerous.
it? Why should it go along with it?
titles create accountability.
What is the account? I
Okay.
guess.
The account is we are us.
Mhm.
So let's say me and you, we're living the Diddy Carisha life, right?
Mhm.
And I'm over in Italy and I see something that sparks my interest. Because me and you have not confirmed what we are, what I do over there is my business.
That's their account,
That's
though.
their- yeah.
That's literally
That's
their
what they
account.
do.
So that
Oh.
they're
There's
holding
no
each other.
complaints there.
No, see, I don't follow them like that.
Yeah,
I don't
they
follow
don't
them like
mind.
that.
It's,
The last
it's
time I
pretty
followed
open.
them was when she told Diddy on her show, we go together, and bro was like, okay.
Right.
And the okay was like, okay, that you keep that thought in your head. I'm still gonna be Diddy.
But they didn't.
But they
confirm
still
that.
go together.
Yeah.
Real bad.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that was the last thing. So I look at it as, and until proven otherwise, Diddy's just enjoying his life,
And she
and
is
she happens to be the person she is.
SINGLE.
Right. So at any given moment, while everybody is vested into it, it could end tomorrow.
but no one would be. Everybody understands it.
Nobody loses.
I don't. So what I was saying was I was talking to someone and she was saying like she not happy, talking about Carisha not happy and this, that, and other. And I'm like, I
I
think
don't
she
see that.
is.
I think she
she's
is happy.
very happy, and she understands what it is that the dynamics of their relationship,
Okay.
and it's so abnormal that everyone else has an issue with it, but Carisha living her best fucking
She
life.
said it, and then on top of that, it's like they have an understanding,
Exactly.
and it's better, I think. And I hate to say this because I do believe in commitment, but in this particular unusual, peculiar relationship that they have, I think that they have an understanding. It's better to it's better for them to communicate. It's easier for them to communicate because they can just say whatever. They don't have any restrictions.
And
Exactly.
It's like I
and
can
this
just
goes, yeah, and that goes back to our previous episode where communication is number one.
number one.
Because if they can talk about whatever it is, whether they agree or don't agree, if they feel like they can do it, it's cool. So if Diddy want to say, "Hey, I'm in Italy. I done ran into this black chick, this black Italian," she may be like, "Okay, just don't bring home nothing you can't get rid of."
She like,
she
don't
ain't
got
in
nothing to
pockets,
do.
child.
Yeah.
I don't know that she really need that either, though. He bought her all this new car. What was a Bentley?
Well, that's because if you pay attention, Diddy's love language has been gift giving. Because every single
he's
woman,
always been
every
like that.
woman he's been with, he's showered her with gift. Even when he was broke,
Yeah.
he's always been a gift giver. So that's just what he does. Whereas in hers may be act of services or physical touch. So when she's around, she gives Diddy what of herself, regardless of whatever that means in their space.
I believe that.
And that's where they have their agreement at in regards
You're
to
right on
it.
point with that.
Yeah.
I really believe that. And I think that and my point to that is what I was gonna say is that when I see them interacting, I feel like why do you not have to be committed in order to have that type of relationship?
I feel like we are to be experienced and not possessed. That's how I feel.
Right on time.
Yeah.
But and everybody, like you said, everybody have different desires.
Yeah.
And different things to make them happy. But it's just perfect to me when I look at them. Not that that's something I would desire, but it just seemed like that's just exactly what you see with two people that has communication and exactly what each other want. This is what I want. We got to understand this. So she wants. We got to understand and we good. It ain't no restrictions, no limitations. They buy each other gifts. They having fun. They living their best. I think both
And
of them
she getting
are.
her bag.
Yeah, and she doesn't have to worry about money. She good, even if he wasn't around.
He just put her on though.
So it's a choice.
Oh yeah, he definitely taught her game. Diddy is not going to deal with nobody, and he doesn't at least teach them something.
Yeah,
it's up to you whether or not you learn from it, but he definitely will teach you.
It's definitely a choice what they're doing if they choose to do this.
Okay,
my last question. We ain't gonna be on long. I had to get into this one. Do you feel safe to be yourself in relationships?
Of course.
Your full self?
Yes, I am 100% myself all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Dead ass in every relationship I've been in. Now, what that looks like may vary based on who it is, but I'm comfortable with whatever I am in that moment. So if I'm wild, carefree, that's what I am at that moment. If I'm serious and straight to business, that's what I am at that moment. If this is just a fuck, that's what I'm in that moment. I am 100% who I am in every relationship I'm in. You want to know why? Because that's what my relationship is supposed to be. Whoever I'm dealing with, you are supposed to be my safe space. Mm-hmm. You are supposed to be my level of comfortability. I can go to this job, I can code switch all day, but when I come around you, I'm supposed to be whoever I am, whatever I am, the way I am. And you're supposed to accept that because that comes with the territory of being part of a relationship. Mm-hmm. Regardless if it's a relationship, situationship, a friendship, I'm supposed to be who I am no matter what.
That's true. That's true. And I believe toxic relationships outside of what we were speaking on with Carisha and P. Diddy, without any communication, I believe it takes away from your character.
After y'all explained to me, I really don't think their relationship is toxic.
It's not.
I have to take that back. I don't think their relationship is toxic.
It's totally not toxic.
It's not toxic because there is no conflict there.
Exactly.
No conflict. It's communication.
Right.
How can you have conflict with communication?
You can have you can still have conflict,
no,
but
with communication, you gotta understand it.
That's but you can still have conflict.
You
can understand it, but not agree with it.
You can communicate and not understand.
Yeah, you can agree with you can not agree. You can understand what they coming from, what they saying, but still not agree with it.
But it becomes toxic when you don't you can agree to disagree. You're not gonna agree with everybody just because you communicate.
Some
You can
people
still
think
have
that
some
though.
balance, you know.
So do
Yeah.
I feel safe?
Do you
Do
feel
you feel
safe in your
safe to
relationship?
be yourself, your full self in a relationship?
No.
Why?
No. I care about what people think for one. And I'm a super spiritual person, so I'm able to be really connected to source and
Mhm.
receive messages through trees and animals and insects and things of that nature. So if I'm being all the way open and all the way free,
Mm-hmm.
I would feel like this person may think I'm crazy. So I don't think I've ever let that whole barrier down and let someone in fully in that space. Um, so yeah,
Have you ever met anybody that was compatible with you in that?
yeah, yeah.
And you were you able to be your full self? Were you comfortable?
In hindsight, no, because I would like dim that side of me. You know what I'm saying?
So how can you dim that side of you and not tap into that and you have
And the
that
crazy
and
thing is probably what draw people to me because of that. But as soon as they I don't know. As soon as they get around, it's like I try to dim that down because one of the things I struggle with is like not showing up as crazy. Like if I'm going to a tree, you know what I'm saying? If I go to a tree and I just connected with this tree, people like, well, I just know what people think. Like, all right,
but
that's
what I'm
crazy.
asking you is have you ever found anyone or ran into a guy that you were compatible with in that way?
Yeah,
And how did you not tap into that with him?
I I dimmed it. I dimmed that part to where it
Oh.
was like I was focusing
So
on
there was
other
no connection
things.
with that compatibility?
Yeah, yeah. You're not understanding, huh?
No,
I know. I see it off of
because
your
I'm
face.
a very intimate person. And I am just like the opposite, but I'm more into. I believe I hide myself a lot. But when it comes down to intimacy
Mhm.
and the way I present myself to people and anything I do as an interaction, I'm intimate with it. Like I'm deep. I'm a deep person. But you will never ever see that because and that's why I had this personal conversation with someone over the weekend and like you are not yourself on that show. And it's hard, not even just in relationships, it's just hard because you are worried about acceptance.
Mhm.
And you cannot be your full self. But anything I love, I get 100% into it. So if I were to well, I wouldn't say were to. Let me just change up my words here because I have to be careful. Um, in your situation, I would think, in my opinion, if you met somebody compatible with you, like if you were to walk up to a tree and
Mhm.
you know a guy that you met a guy or came into contact with someone who had that same interest as you, then why wouldn't you tap into that as a woman? I'm just saying that's something I push the pedal on. Like
So I wouldn't say it's more of an interest. I would say it was more of a like, okay,
a
that's what she do.
commonality.
No, like that's what she do. Like and
No, I mean, I'm talking about this is something you were compatible in, right? You guys are both compatible. So when I ask, okay, you met somebody before and you were dating a guy that
like
You
somebody that talked to trees and
you
that's
met
what
touch
a
I'm
trees
asking,
too.
that
you
was in
met
No.
touch with
a you
themselves
met a
like
guy
you.
that gives you
Nah.
butterflies.
No. No.
You wouldn't be yourself?
Yeah, I would. Um I think I would.
Okay.
I think I would.
Because I was about to
It's
ask you, what does intimacy look like to you?
Yeah. I was gonna
Let's
ask
start
that's
there.
but I was gonna ask her that same thing. That's where I was going with intimacy when I brought it up.
really
For my yeah, because I was thinking about myself
okay.
when I heard you talking about but I didn't think you were getting the question. So my next question was, what does intimacy look like to you? I mean, with your different interests, what is it that you would look for?
That's a good
And see, and that's the
question.
problem. And this is what I'm getting at with us, even like single women, women in relationships, married women, women.
Yeah.
And I just get so angry because we're so afraid to be alone. And that is the best way we can identify ourselves and get to know ourselves and love ourselves. But we're so afraid to do it, and we're missing so much of ourselves, right? So then we're not able to see what it is that we want.
I know I'm very comfortable with being alone. That's why I'm okay with cutting people off right away who, if I do open up and my feelings are hurt, I'm okay. Like I can disconnect from any situation because I know what it feels like to be hurt and to just be sad every single day.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with being happy by myself than sad every single day and with a person, just to say like I have someone, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I am okay with being alone. But to answer your question, what do I look for? I can't answer that.
Well,
You're an energy person. That's why.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, I
Like
can see that.
your vibe. It's
And-
vibes that bring you.
And it makes me interested to know what, and then not even that. Let me just say, not that you're looking.
Hold on, because I am an energy person, because I could be attracted to somebody, and when I get around them, I realize that I'm not compatible because my energy is not the same.
So, do you think that you're in the wrong settings? 'Cause
Definitely,
there's like nobody like
because I
in
like
this
hood
world
niggas.
that right.
I like
And
hood
we
niggas.
always do. But that's what I'm getting at. And I'm so afraid to ask. She is really like, I want to say all of this
What do you
stuff.
do? You like
can-
hood niggas? Yes,
You
I
can
do.
just- You can just first of all, I told you stop being guarded. We've had this
I'm trying
conversation.
my best.
Say
and I
what's
just don't
on
want
your
to
mind.
just-
No,
yeah,
this is
new.
this is
I can't just jump
See,
like I can't do it. But
you. But here's the thing: Butterfly is an open book. She's just that kind of person. You have to ask her the question in order to get the answer out of her.
It's coming out. I don't even have to
I'm
ask.
just saying.
That's
I'm
not
just giving you-
not a problem.
giving
I'm
you a
getting it.
heads
I'm
up.
getting it.
So, but that okay. So that kind of brings me to my point. I'm super multi-dimensional. Literally, I can visit multiple dimensions. I can be super sexy. I can be a super fucking mom. I can like hood niggas.
That's
I
me.
Can trap.
If you can see, I can be.
super
I work
spiritual.
in corporate all my life, and then I can be hood.
Yeah.
And then I'm a whole comedian.
Yeah.
And it's really it's hard when you're that type of person because
Absolutely.
you cannot connect on a level with men. It's like, well, let me go back. See, and that's why I gotta be so careful because it is so hard to make that right connection when you have, like you said, multi dimensions.
Yeah.
Because you connect with people on so many different levels, but then you can disconnect with people on so many different levels.
Yeah.
And that's hard because there's so much ugly that you just see, and it's like it outweighs those other positive dimensions, right?
One of the things I know for a fact I look for is patience. Like I need anybody who I'm dealing with to be patient with me. And niggas not really patient.
That's because what you interacting with, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if you're connecting in the wrong space, in the wrong dimension,
Yeah.
then you're not gonna get what it is that your body, your mind, and your soul is requiring. You know, then that's where I say it comes back to, it takes away from who we are as a person, because we can't be our full self. And if we're in a relationship where we can't, then there's no need to be in one.
I also flee. I am quick to flee from something if I feel like it's unsafe.
Yeah.
Like I need to focus.
Something that made you happy?
Absolutely.
I have to.
Absolutely.
Why?
I will get up and go.
As a woman, why
Because
do you run
don't
from something that
trust.
make
You
you
know
happy?
something coming. You have that feeling like something is coming behind this.
Happiness in a relationship is very foreign to me.
Yes.
In this moment of time,
For
I do
women.
not want to stay in that space. But if I'm being honest with myself, and I always do, happiness in a relationship is very foreign. It is super scary. I know it comes with a very, and from my experiences, which is a trauma, obviously it comes with a sad ending. And it's just like, I'm focused right now. I'm grinding. You know what I'm saying?
But
I
if
don't
you
need that.
happy, why don't you convey your fear? to the individual who's making you happy.
Oh, you don't do that.
That could be
No,
extremely
hold on,
draining
wait a
too.
minute.
You do
Hold
not
on.
do that.
Stop. Pause.
No.
Right here.
No,
Hold on. Right here.
that's where that
No, no.
unhappiness come from in the
Mm-mm.
first place.
Stop. Right here. This is a problem with the Black community, period.
I'm glad we're here today. then.
Okay.
Maybe we
Ghosting is a thing. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
we've accepted it as a thing, but we never think about the individual's feelings that we've ghosted. We only think about protecting our feelings
That's
when we
very
do it.
true.
And I feel like that's problematic.
Why?
Well, one, you've created a space and a scenario for an individual who doesn't truly understand what the hell just happened. So, for an example, if this individual is making you happy, I mean, like y'all are connecting and firing on all cylinders, that this individual now is like, I have the one. Okay. All the bullshit I've dealt with, this is the person I want. But because of your fear of past situations of what could happen, you ghosted them. Now they're not only hounding you, trying to figure out what's going on, and of course you're blocking, you're disassociating the whole 9 yards because you're fearful of what the other shoe falling that you expect to fall.
Of course.
Okay. But now this individual is, what did I do wrong? Why is she not talking to me? Now, because we haven't gotten an answer or a communication of why this has to stop, we have to start coming up with our own things. Now we're starting to beat up on ourselves. Was I too aggressive? Was I not enough? Was I passive? Did I do this? Did I not do that? Was she talking to somebody else? Was this bitch this? It goes and it turns into a big mushroom cloud of self-doubt. All because no information was conveyed of how we're going.
It can't be explained.
Hold on. But it can be.
Mm-mm.
It can be. And here's the reason why I say, you can easily say, baby, I'm loving this space, but I'm scared.
That's a good one.
As simple as that is, I'm loving where we at, but I'm scared. Now you're giving one, you're letting that person know you're happy, but you're fearful of the future, which is common for people to be scared of what the future holds, especially when you've been here before and it ended a different way. But simply by you saying that, you're now allowing that person to immediately veer in a different direction. Well, what you scared of, baby? What happened? Why do you feel like we're going to have problems? Talk to me. Communication. Now here's a point where you may not be comfortable with telling that person your trauma yet, but all you have to say is, I've been down this road before and it didn't go right. You don't have to go into details, but you're at least letting that person know you have had an issue in this spot before. So as happy as you are, you're fearful. So if you decide to back off a little bit, or if you would say, you know what, if you need to take a break from this for a minute to figure out where your comfort level is, do that. Because remember, if you're happy, that means he's happy too, or she. Sexuality is a spectrum.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to allow that person to have that. Ghosting is only acceptable, in my opinion, when several red flags have came up, and this is not going to be a good thing at all. But if you're happy, you're content, all the flags are green, there may be a yellow, say something.
But, because it's always a but.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this.
A big one too.
Yeah.
You never trust a big butt and a smile.
Exactly.
You better not.
You could
If
trust
that's
me.
all you getting.
Especially if it ain't real.
Once you open up to is
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
just
Just
said.
keep going.
once you
You in a
open
safe
up,
space.
people can use that against you.
How often?
Very.
No, hold on. Let me finish.
Let me say this though, real quick. Sometimes when you're a ghost, it's not because everything is good and you're afraid. Everything can be a good thing happening, right before your eyes. Everything, you hitting all the greens, and you have just a few yellows, but you just ain't hood enough. And that's exactly what she was just saying.
Then
My
why-
problem is I like hood. I've
why
seen this
can't
happen
you
so
say that?
many times. You're not getting ready to tell nobody that.
No. Here's the thing. Women do not give men the benefit of the doubt by telling us how y'all feel when we're in this beginning stages.
I do want to go on air saying hood nigga is not like thug.
No, and
What's hood nigga?
Hood
The
nigga
thug
is just culture.
hood.
I'm not into
I get
hood
what you.
niggas. I
get
know
what
what you mean, but I'm
I
not.
get
Into,
what
I
you
got
mean
to
by
have
saying
an
hood.
educated man. I have to have somebody who's
But you
doing
could be
something. I
hood
can't
and
to a certain
educated.
extent. But when you say hood nigga,
see, we
I
gotta
can look
break
at it.
down.
I can
hood.
look at it like fabulous.
Okay, tell me more about
He a hood
fabulous.
nigga. He a hood nigga, and he hood rich. And would you agree?
Hood nigga is someone who is of the culture, engulfed in the culture, knows how to move in the culture.
Yep, that
Okay.
talk about
Fabulous.
it.
I get what you mean. Okay. And sometimes niggas got a nig. Now you got ignorant hood niggas
Yeah.
and you got smart ass hood niggas.
I don't want no nigga.
Not every nigga's hood though. Some
I
niggas
don't
is
want
just
a nigga.
ignorant. You can live upscale Detroit and still be a nigga. Okay.
I don't know.
But I
Because
just
some
use
men is like, I ain't no nigga.
because I'm hood at times. I'm old enough to know how to code switch, but I'm also old enough and smart enough to know how to move in spaces. I can hang out on 10th and Monarchy with no problem whatsoever and not be one bit concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I can also be up in Tulsa and know how to move with them folks too.
Exactly.
You know, I know
Mhm.
how to move in different spaces and I know how to bring what I need to bring to those areas as well too.
Yeah.
So I get what she's saying because I've
totally
been
get
what
what
she's
she's
saying,
saying.
you know, just for those. But it's even then, it's the simple fact that you can tell that person, you're not my type. You're not what I normally date. You're kind of outside what I normally like, but even though that this individual doesn't check the boxes of what you're normally attracted to, doesn't mean that he deserves to be ghosted. You can easily let him know, I don't see this working in the long term.
I can see that.
Dang,
It's just something that's simple to say.
People.
No, we've all ghosted people.
Yeah.
I've done it. I've done it recently. I can't lie to you.
Oh.
I've done it too. I've been ghosted recently, and that shit hurt it because
I've been ghosted.
it was a vibe. It was a connection. It was something that in the long term, I can honestly feel that this could have been something so much bigger, but she never explained to me why it had to end. And it could have been any different reason, but because I didn't get that explanation, and women will say this all the time, it doesn't deserve an explanation. If it's something good, maybe it does. Even if it's something bad, sometimes you need to tell a brother that, hey fam, you doing A, B, C, D. That's not cool. You shouldn't move like that because you can stop him from fucking up somebody else's life.
Yeah.
Or because his behavior has worked in the past with other people, he doesn't know it's a bad thing now. Simply just saying, hey, bro, you finna lose me because of A, B, C, D, could all he need to know to make his life better. He may not ever get another chance with you, but at least he can grow the hell up. This is why you keep having so many little boys pretending to be men, because nobody holds them accountable, because nobody tells them that their actions are very childish.
But it's somebody for everybody. And that's why I keep saying maybe the reason why you're not running into anybody compatible is because, and I say this every show,
look,
it's somebody for everybody. You just haven't met that person. You haven't allowed it.
It could
Is somebody out here desiring you.
It could be somebody
you.
For everybody, but until that individual learns that their behavior is what's keeping you from that somebody, they'll never stop doing it.
That person just not for you though.
No, that person may not be for you, but at least give that person the respect to say, this is not going to work, and here's why. Because you know what happens for those men who don't get those answers at time? They turn into those He-Man woman hater dudes who spend their time all day on social media bashing and degrading women.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, a man who goes in on women all day probably got ghosted by a woman he really liked. And all she had to tell him was, bro, your cologne stank and I can't deal with that. It may have been something that simple.
Really?
It could have been something that simple. You want to be around a man who you can't stand his smell all day? Y'all break up with us for any reason this day and age. Y'all would leave us in a heartbeat.
Dating outside of your league, then.
Y'all do
You're
it.
in the wrong area dating,
Look,
sir.
I'm not saying. Me personally,
Cologne?
Yes.
Cologne.
People are. You have to remember, people this day and age are petty.
You left
forgot.
somebody because of cologne.
No.
Cologne.
I mean, but I could see that.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's-
Let's not rule out that. That's
I mean, but that would be more easier to say. Like, look, why don't you try this or buy him a different cologne?
because
Yeah.
he made this is what he always wear. He been rocking this since high school.
Okay, I can see an upgrade there.
I could see
I'm
an
talking
upgrade
about
there.
like.
I'm just saying.
I got me a parakeet over here. I'm just saying, like, I feel like some things are simple to say, and I think that when it comes down to like, I don't like you. I mean, I can't move forward with you because you just not good enough, or you just may not have.
So why can't you say that though?
Because that can hurt you just as much as me ghosting you. I think.
No, it just means that you were not my type.
If I just walk away from you, what
If-
up, Sibo?
if I like a nerd,
Stranger.
if I like a nerdy chick who was in the anime, okay, and I met you because you cute and we talking and we kicking and we vibing, but every time I'm getting ready to watch my anime, you always got something negative to say. Guess what I'm gonna tell you? No, it's not gonna work.
You're not gonna say that.
The lies you tell yourself, yes, I will. Because if anime is that important to
I
me,
haven't seen it.
first of all, you
You
wouldn't.
don't think that's important?
I don't think a man to say it.
Yes, they will.
But see, I haven't. One thing to understand about me is I haven't been single enough to long enough to be ghosted. I've never been ghosted. I have never got a chance to even date. I've been single in my adult life a year.
Really?
She was married for 16, then was single, and then got married again.
Really?
So I don't know what that feels like, but I have ghosted and ghosted and ghosted that little year. It was like,
I got a question for
no,
you.
No, I can't do this. No, I knew. But one thing about me, I am a woman who knows what she wants, and you know that about me. I know what I want. I know what I can stand for and what I can't take.
You have to
And
remember, most of the
when
world
it
don't
came
know what they
again,
want.
I'm like, yeah, this is what I need to do because
But most people don't know what they want. They still trying to figure out who they are and what they want. So they will get into these little situationships thinking it's going to lead to something. And when it doesn't go the direction they want, instead of saying this is not going to work, because they're fear. Now, don't get me wrong, as women, I also understand it's not safe for y'all either.
no, it's not.
It's to the point where a dude asks you for your
It ain't safe.
No.
right. A
ain't
dude
safe.
can ask for your number and you say no, and you may not be here the next day. Unfortunately,
Oh,
we also
That's
have situations where when you and the dude break up, the dude may break bones on you. I understand. I do. So in some cases, I do get it.
Never
You're
felt
doing
like
it for
that.
your safety.
If I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna have enough money to pack up, and when you get home, I'll be gone.
Don't be Dear John Lettering people.
I
That
will
was the
Dear
original.
John
That was
letter your
that was
aim.
the original ghosting.
That
Just
was
leave
my
it-
original. What
just
I
leaving
did
a
in
letter
my
on
first marriage. I
Your
literally
your first marriage also has a whole different story.
right,
that
but I
needs to be
literally was done. And that's one thing about women, certain women, some women. When I'm done, I'm done. It may look like I'm taking. That's with a lot of relationships. It may look like I'm taking a lot of stuff, and I just be figuring it out.
But that's how most
I'm gonna figure it out.
most
and I'm
women
gonna-
move like that.
But I can tell you, if I'm ever single again, I probably would be single for a long time
I
until
was
I,
gonna
met
ask you about.
somebody like
Yeah, I forgot you had a
out of the
question.
country.
What's your question?
Do you feel like you know yourself?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Hmm.
I definitely am in tune with myself. I haven't been with, even though I have been in a horrible relationship or marriage that long. I was raised by a very strong woman, and not only was I raised by a strong woman, I have a strong family dynamic.
Okay.
And my mother and her sisters and her brothers, they stuck together with
Mhm.
us. And one of my mother, she's like, "You're gonna marry my daughter." And at first, I didn't understand it, but we were good.
Mhm.
You know, I bought my first house when I was 19 years old, so I was really like in tune with things that needed to happen.
Okay.
You know, in order for self love and self growth, and for my children to be safe and happy.
Mhm.
And that was one of the not that everything was perfect, because it was horrible.
Okay.
Let me just add and note that, but I took it as a learning lesson. I think everything that you go through in life should be a stepping stone. You should learn from it, otherwise you just wasting your life.
Mhm.
And that's what I say about saying when dating and knowing what you want. Even if it's an unhappy situation, I feel like it's something that you should be learning from. Even if you got a plan at hand, you should always have a second and third plan phase in your life that you know where you're going. And you'll see that, like I said, I wrote a book and that book has not been released because I'm not ready to release it. It's a lot of stuff in there that's going to explain who I am and the things that I've been through and how I'm able to be strong enough to, still withstand a lot of different things and be myself. But yes, I know myself. And anybody that know me know that. I totally know myself, don't I, Corey?
So when
I know myself and I know what I want, and I'm gonna get what I want. And that's not up to anybody but me.
So you said you were single for a year?
A year in my whole adult life.
What did that look like?
When I was single?
Yeah.
I feel like if I had kept going in the
say
that's
it.
why my book ain't released.
Say it. No, say it.
Um,
We talked about this, fam. You gotta let it go.
There's somebody who know me very well.
What he say?
So most people always see me like married. But here's the thing, right? That year.
You don't put that finger down.
That year, okay, it was 16 years. I got married, 15 and a half, 16. But then I was married until my early 30s. And it was horrible. And that's all I'm going to say. Because everything is in the book. And I will release it when I'm ready, right? So with that being said, when I divorced him, I had somebody in my life much older than I was. And I always had a strong woman around me that's telling me, this is what you need to do. You're beautiful. What's wrong with you? And it was more when I got married young like that, I had 2 kids. And he was doing a whole lot of stuff. And they called me the trophy wife because I
can see that.
So much stuff. But I was blind to what was happening because he kept everything. He will fight for me not to know. Like you come try to tell me something and you cheating with him, it's gonna be a problem. Like, don't tell her nothing. The things I found out was through people who was like, and I hate to be like this, and I hate even saying this word, but it was more like people who was jealous and wanted to hurt me anyway. So that's how I found out most of the stuff that I did. It was people close to him telling me stuff. So I started questioning stuff and finding out stuff, and things started happening. But with me learning and staying in that relationship, I learned what I couldn't take and what I couldn't do again. Even at that young age, he didn't let me drink. He didn't let me. You're not drinking nothing. He was preserving me for whoever it was next. If I was torn down and all messed up and he was letting me do those things, he thought I was going to be there forever. Taking that. And that wasn't true. He didn't think my mind was strong enough to ever leave. So when I did leave, I started dating. And I had a lot of different things that I had experienced in that little year. It was some things were even still horrible. Nothing's perfect. Nothing's good all the time.
Right.
But mentally, if you know how to handle different situations because of the scenarios you've already experienced, and you hold that and walk in it, I believe that you'll be able to make the right decisions. And so I started, when I got married again, I started telling him, like, he has to marry me 3 times. And he did not like me telling people that, but he did. And
what you mean by that?
He did. And I said no the first 2 times.
Oh, he asked to marry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, if I ask, this kind of thing. But I was afraid. Yeah. And I knew what I had gone through. And I'm like, I'm not going to do this again. No. And he was in school architecture before. And I'm like, you need to go back. Everything I was telling him to do, you need to go do this. He did it. And he was doing it. I'm like, oh. So nothing really was left for me to be mean and be like, I ain't doing it because of this and that.
Yeah.
Well, and it just seemed like this is what he knew he wanted, and that's what got me into my second marriage. But I feel like we need to understand ourselves in order to even move forward. Nothing I've been through has torn me down. Okay. Nothing. And when you find out what I've been through, you're going to see that. You're going to know that nothing I've been through has torn me down. I've been depressed. I've had some bad, horrible days, and I've been through some stuff, through hate and jealousy and people trying to do things to me. And I had to realize those things on my own. But outside of that, internally, since I had God on my side, I'm not torn. I don't like people playing on me and doing different things, and I can recognize it fast. And I'm gonna say something about it. But I feel like I could be way worse off than I am today if I didn't have the family members and people around me that loved me and did care. Like, don't do this.
Yeah.
And I had a strong woman telling me, like, and it's in my book, and this is why, because some people will deny their role in some things and telling me what he was doing. And like, you beautiful, don't do that. Like, this is what's happening when you're not around.
Yeah.
This is what I seen happen. And you sitting here and don't know what's going on. Those type of things. And I ignored a lot of it. You 16, 17, 18, 19. I never went to prom. I never went to like homecoming proms and all of that. So when you really think about it, you would look at me and say, you've been robbed. I haven't. I don't feel like I missed anything.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I know myself.
So I guess I asked that
I'm very into myself more than I ever been.
So you were already disconnected from your marriage well before you got divorced.
About 5 years.
Okay, so that's when you took the time to learn yourself into
spending money, doing things I needed to spend his money.
Yeah.
Doing things that I knew I needed to do to get mentally stable enough to leave. And when I left, I played Rihanna. You look so dumb right now. And I played it loud, sitting there with a glass of wine. I'm not lying. People know. I really, 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 I played it. And I did it because I felt good. I felt good for every woman who had went through these things and didn't know how to do it. And I felt good that I had the support. When I divorced my first husband, it was on Father's Day. And my aunt would have these Father's Day dinners. And we all were over there. My mom already knew what I was getting ready to do. And I'm telling some of my book right now, but I'm getting ready to just tell it. Because Tom, he will really like that. But anyway, he like, tell it, girl, tell it. Okay, this is going to take a minute because I don't like getting too deep into that. But I knew what I wanted to do, and I found out some stuff, right? And I graduated. I got a degree, just like somebody coached me into doing, like, get a degree first, start putting your money up, doing this, doing that. And that's what I started doing. And then, because I knew I was ready to go. So I told my mom was like, don't ever come tell me that you're ready to go again, and put me in the middle of anything unless you're really, really ready to go. So I told her I'm really ready to go. And she's like, okay. So we left my aunt's, like, Father's Day brunch, and we went home together, but we left the kids with my mom. She already knew. I was like, Mom, won't keep the kids tonight. So when we got back, I said, there's a divorcing process. He didn't even know. He thought I was playing. He was drunk. He laid across the bed and acted like nothing was happening. While he was laying there, a chick that was cool with one of his siblings that had always been around, that I knew he was messing with, called his phone. And I picked up the phone. I was like, hello. And she's like, put him on the phone. I'm not going to say his name. And I was like, I'm trying to get him up now. Do you have somewhere for him to go? Basically, because he don't want to leave and I want him to leave. I'm divorcing him. Y'all free. Do what you need to do. And she's like, whatever, like, acting crazy. Like, I was so much more mature in my relationship with myself at that time. And so I was like, you're just dumb. This is a whole marriage. You're dumb. You're doing nothing but making yourself look dumb. And I handed him the phone, and that happened. And he wouldn't take the call. And she called back. And she actually, I ended up getting him up by saying, I'm going to call the police. And he ended up leaving for the night. And then whatever happened in between those next few days, he ended up getting his stuff and leaving because, I was really ready.
Yeah.
And in that process, there was never any abuse until the end of the relationship, like when that happened. things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like it was a thing where I don't think he thought it would ever,
Oh yeah.
you know, but I was a whole lot more mentally stable than by that time. And that's why I always say women leave a relationship far before they leave.
Yeah.
You just sitting there and you know what you tired. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's me, and I'm like that with jobs and relationships everywhere.
Yeah. I think our story is pretty similar.
Girl, you married before?
I know I was in a relationship from I would say 14 to like 28. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
14.
Mm-hmm.
High school sweetheart.
Oh my God.
I had dealings, but it was
You know all about it.
yeah. But yeah. But that's why I asked, like, because I've from that situation I've taken the time to like really, really like learn myself because it was like
Yes.
I would say definitely a mental control. Um, like
How much older than you? Than
we same age.
same age.
Mm-hmm.
We had a 5-year difference.
Okay.
He was 5 years older than me.
Mm.
15. He was 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a lot of impact right there.
Heck yeah.
It's more and more and more and more. But you know,
Oh wow.
that's why I said once you really see the book, you're gonna be like, "Girl, why you sitting here?" Because I had a very strong, and women in my family strong. They don't need no man.
Yeah.
And I seen that. I seen that coming up. I was blessed to be able to see that. So I know it's something that you don't have to have a man to be happy. But I think that you can fall into that either way it goes. It still all depends on the person.
Wow. So now I'm wondering about your mom, like when she first found out.
My mom didn't know a lot until after.
I'm talking about as even the age difference.
We lied to her about his age.
Oh, really?
Until when she did find out when I finally got pregnant. That's when she was like, "You gonna marry her too?"
Oh.
Yeah, that kind of thing happened. It is a lot.
Oh yeah, that is a lot.
Oh, she was upset when she found out.
Yeah.
He knows everything.
Oh,
This is
really?
my mother's brother's son. This is my first cut. Me and him like this.
Okay.
So we've been close all our life, and he know every secret, every crack and crevice about everything that's happened. And I tell him a lot, but he know I ain't lying about nothing. He knows a whole lot more to it that I ain't telling.
Yeah.
So he know I'm a strong person because of it all. You know, that's why I look at all the pettiness and stuff out here that people go through, and I just feel bad for women because one thing I've never done. I've been married 10 years. The second time around, never cheated.
Mm-hmm.
That's something a lot of women can't say.
Yeah.
And I feel like it doesn't come from me being afraid or nothing like that. I just want my blessings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious
Mm-hmm.
because I know exactly where they come from.
Mm-hmm.
I know when you blessed, I know that's a deep thing and you got to have your faith. At the end of the day, people say they believe in God and stuff, but they don't demonstrate that. I know that
Okay,
if
so
you
why
do
you say
everything that you take, because that's just me being judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I see some things, I just feel like cheating is one of those things where you can bring a whole lot of havoc.
Okay.
You don't think so? Wouldn't you just rather leave?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would rather leave
Yeah.
because I want it all. Like I'm one of those people that I don't want no half stepping. That's why I listen to City Girls and stuff because I feel like Cardi B, you know, and all of them. I feel like they tell the truth a lot. It might sound ghetto. They've been through it, and when they talk about it, it's like what? I just level with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
so
they know what they
balanced, and they
want.
don't even have to get all professional with their language.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't got to do none of that. I just relate on a whole different level, and when you're there, you can relate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's why I tell you, don't be afraid of those things. Like one thing I did learn was to be myself. My flaws and all gonna be there.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna have no surprises with me.
Mm-hmm.
I might on the phone at work. I'm not gonna talk like I'm talking now.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I'm in a different setting. and everybody. I'm gonna talk to us related to where it's relatable to everybody on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I get to be my full self at
Mhm.
times, where I feel like I need to reach the community and let them know this happened to me.
Right.
It can happen, and we can still smile. It's a lot of stuff that we experience in our community that makes us afraid to step out and be ourselves and know what we want. And during that time, like you said, that's why I was saying what I was saying to you, because you said you couldn't answer that question with what you would want,
Mm-hmm.
but you said you took time to get to know yourself. So how did you take time to get to know yourself and you don't know what you want?
I know. Well, that's a good question. But I'm also still learning myself. I'm still finding myself for sure. Um, because it's things that I'm tapping into that I was afraid of. Even my sensuality, like been afraid of that just because I don't want to be called a whore. And in my mind, like how, and I'm not even sexually active. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think about Lori Harvey then?
I think that she has a lot of confidence. That's what I think. And I
Yes, that's
think
what I'm
that she don't take
saying.
no shit.
I'm telling you, you gotta be like that.
You do, and I'm finding that out. Yeah, but I'm finding that out, and I'm like, shit. So I'm going into my 33rd year. I'm just shedding, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you eat really don't make me shit, and the same. Like, what I'm doing shouldn't bother anyone if I'm expressing myself how I'm expressing myself.
Chico stick.
Hmm.
Right? You saw what he called me. Like, it's okay. Why does it matter to you? Because this is what I want to be today.
Chico stick.
Okay. And tomorrow it might be different. It will. My hair different every week. It's just, and then I go to beauticians and stylists, and I deal with people where I could be myself now.
Yeah.
Like, my stylist be like, girl, whip your hair one more time. I be like, what?
So
he do that, but you have to. If you're in the wrong setting, like I said before, you're not gonna be able to be your full self.
No.
And I even see that in you just sitting here today.
Okay,
like,
what you see?
You can't. I see that you can't because there was even some confusion in saying, what is it that you will want? What do you see out here? You're in tune with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you like to do, and that's some things can be a hobby. Like, because I love fashion, I love clothes, I like shoes and all. I like to put stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. I like to cook. I
Mhm.
love cooking different meals. I love coming up with different things, right? So if I were to find or run into somebody, or you were to run into somebody compatible, that's gonna be something we're gonna have to do together.
Mm-hmm.
That's hands down. Otherwise, and we talked about this with religion, you can't. I don't feel like you can be Kojic or um, Pentecostal and then date a Catholic person.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if there's no solid foundation in religion,
Mm-hmm.
unless you're both non-denomination, then I don't feel like it's gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think happened with Megan Good and her marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was ever gonna work, and I don't think Pastor Keon and Shawnee is gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're just way opposites attract. Hey, Joe. This beautiful young lady right here. Can you introduce yourself? I usually do that.
Hey, it's Butterfly. I am vegan chef. That's who I am.
And
what?
Where can they find you?
Oh, okay. Look.
Come on now.
So you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Butterfly. Oh, that's Trill.
Mm-hmm.
Trill know who I am. Butterfly, Buddahfly.
Let's see Bo on there too, so he can find you and there's other people on there.
He said, "Hey, he's good. How are you?" He said, "Oh, that's my homie Butterfly."
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was her voice. Yep, it's me.
So we just talking about things that we would, just getting to know ourselves after different situationships. and how we are able to know and understand ourselves after situationships. And I think we pretty much ended on that note because we don't want to share too much of ourselves up in here. Not today. Because that wasn't even the whole focus here. We kind of took a turn, but at the end of the day, I think everybody should learn to be themselves and their full selves in a relationship. Then there's no surprises. Communication is key. I will. Communication is key. If you're not gonna be your full self, there ain't no sense in keep going. I don't think in the relationship it's gonna be a big problem.
Everybody bye.
Bye everybody. You can oh. Before I say bye to everybody, go on my YouTube page and subscribe. Chatty Queen's Brunch Club. Share, get y'all people up. And we are ending on that note. I love you guys for watching. Thank you, and have a good day.